Hi, I'm Shivam,
Hi, I'm Izzy.
and this is PhoenixChat.
Where one of us can read.
Which one?
You find out.
Hi, and welcome back to PhoenixChat. This is part 2 of the episode we released a little bit earlier. I would highly recommend checking out the part 1 of this episode so you can get the context for all the things we're going to be talking about in this episode and get into the nitty-gritty here. So I think, by the way, one of my favorite moments that we did talk about last time is just like Juliet and the Snabies, because honestly, like, I did not expect that Juliet would end up being, like, this motherly or attached to children in general.
I honestly didn't expect this either. When I first made Juliet, I'm like, okay, she's a badass bartender who's very impulsive and a drunk. That's all I had. And now I'm like, wow, this is like watching my own child grow up. This is insane.
Yeah.
So, based on her backstory, her mom is really shitty, and, like, she easily could have been like, my mom was shitty, so why do I have to be a good mom? But I feel like she just wants to, like, improve herself, and, by doing so, she's becoming a better mom than she realizes, especially with Hops.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I guess, like, if, like, you hadn't had the narrative of, like, you know, like, dating Essen and then, like, adopting Hops, like, I guess what were your expectations for what Juliet would, like, be now?
If Essen or Hops was not, like, taken, like, this personally with Juliet...
Yeah, they were just all friends.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it'd be a lot more about self-discovery with herself and not just like, I need to do this for Hops or I need to do this for Essen, I need to do this for the party. I feel like it would be a lot more, like, yeah, she's doing, things to improve herself right now too, but, like, mostly her mind is like, how can I save them instead of myself? So I feel like it'd be a lot more, like, self-centered, not, like, selfish or anything, just like, how can I improve myself as a person, rather than how can I improve for Hops, how can I improve for Essen, how can I improve the party.
Yeah, I definitely think that would have been interesting, though, to, like, if Hops, instead of ending up as a daughter role, ended up being more of, like, a little sister sort of thing, or, like, I think that'd be the most interesting, is, like, instead of, like, Hops as, like, a daughter role, like, do you think, like, that could have, like, worked at all, of, like, having Hops as, like, a little sister where, like, she's more of a peer to you than, like, someone you protect?
So I think yes and no. So I don't know how, the girl that made Hops would have reacted either way, because, like, I think she didn't think of Hops as, like, a child until, like, Juliet adopted her as a child. So it would have been interesting to see Hops, like, more aged up as a little sister, but I think if Hops were to act more, like, aged up, then yes, it would work. But as a child, I don't think it would. I think it would just, like, end up the same way. Like, she would kind of unofficially adopt Hops as a daughter and not, like, a sister, I guess.
Yeah. I think that definitely would have been interesting to see. Next point I definitely want to talk about is okay, so the executioner scene, because that was one of those things where, like, we didn't plan that.
No.
Like, at all. It ended up just being one of those things where, like, it was just, like, in the moment, this is a thing that happened. And because, like, Essen said this thing, like, Boondock had very, like, valid sort of reasons in order to kind of feel, like, hurt about that. And, like, it was an interesting narrative. And I definitely, like, I really like the surprise tension of that.
Yes.
Where like we got to kind of, like, delve into that and, like, delve into, because, like, one, Boondock, like, he still hasn't confronted a lot of, like, the idea of, like, being an executioner and stuff like that, and, like, a lot of it was too, like, he was being an executioner because, like, it's doing it for, like, the good of the people and stuff like that, even if it is, like, a bad thing to do overall. Like, it still keeps people safe, so, like, and someone's gotta do it. Having Essen, like, starting to kind of confront that idea, was definitely kind of really, really interesting for sure. Especially, too, because, like, you guys don't know a lot about Essen's backstory.
Yeah.
And, like, and introducing the idea of, like, maybe Essen might not have been, like, a great person, and putting the, like, seed of doubt into your mind. It's like, ooh.
Spicy.
Yeah. Especially, too, because it's one of those things where, like, I knew, like, I can kind of present this narrative, and you guys would kind of work with me here, and especially, like, I don't think you would have gotten to a point where you would have fully abandoned Essen. Even if there was, like, a little bit of distrust there, I don't think it would ever be, like, I'm fully going to, like, just separate and leave here. Just for, like, the sake of the story. Oh, man. And speaking of that executioner scene, so I had to roleplay Sprout trying to ask Boondock these questions in order to get, like, at the heart of the matter. And, like, it was really fucking hard because, like, I had to fucking figure out, like, what, like, Sprout could actually figure out and, like, what he can't. And, like, on top of that, too, just, like, I have to, like, rephrase all the answers, like, as Sprout. Like, it doesn't make sense to just, like, just say the most, like, appropriate thing to fix everything. I would need to make sure, like, Sprout understands the problem and can, like, express that to Boondock. Oh, man. But yeah, no, I guess, like, so you definitely also play a good old, lovely negative int character that we all love here. If you want to talk about, like, because, like, with Nina, for example, it's a very similar thing. Like, you, Izzy, understand problems, but Nina absolutely doesn't. So I guess, like, how do you end up, like, dealing with that, of, like, kind of role-playing through that?
Okay, so Nina, for some back context, Nina is my human paladin, and she is a 6'6" fucking himbo lady. Like, I love her to death, but she is dumber than a box of rocks, okay?
She is a golden retriever in a human body.
Yes, that is all Nina is. And, you know, dealing with, like, negative ink characters, like, as a DM or as a player, like, for me, it's really hard to keep my mouth shut when I realize things. Nina would have fucking no idea. Like, I see the puzzle. That's just how it works. And I, as Izzy, knows this. I'm like, oh my god, I fucking know that. I know the answer. Let me in. But Nina has no fucking idea. So what I have to do personally is I have to remember, okay, does my character know this? Yes or no? No. Because of her backstory and because of what she's learning right now? No, absolutely not. I mute myself just so I don't slip up and say something until, like, somebody interacts with me. I let everyone else kind of try and figure it out on their own before I'm like, okay, can I please say something? Because if honestly, like, if I'm DMing and they're really struggling on a puzzle that I've given them, I'm like, make another perception check. Oh, you see this lever that's somehow sticking out of the side. Or something like that. So it's like, it's fun to make dumb characters, but it's also really hard to play dumb characters.
Yeah, no. For sure, and especially too, like, when you, especially like with like Sprout, for example, like having him try to express something, like, I always just try to remember, like, keep everything, like, extremely simple, straightforward terms, and, like, there's no pretenses or anything like that. It's just like, I just try to think of, like, what is the first thought that comes into my head, and I just, like, remove, like, the censors and stuff like that. So, like, especially, like, with the thing of, like, maybe Essen was, like, a bad person and stuff like that. Again, just remove the censors. Sprout just says the first thing that comes to his mind. Oh, man. Yeah, and then also want to talk about, so the other interesting thing we kind of got a little bit in this episode that ends up going to be a big trope throughout the rest of the campaign is Essen trying to join Canis Libertas.
Yeah.
I think that was definitely very interesting because, like, Essen's player definitely talked about it, and they were like, I think Essen could reasonably join any guild, and, like, I totally agree with that. Like, Essen definitely has, like, the wherewithal and stuff like that, and the lawful nature to join Service Valoris. Essen's very interested in like learning and stuff like that he could totally join Eva's Cogniocious, and he does have like the stuff like, you know, do whatever it sort of takes and stuff like that, and like the sneakiness to join Canis Limited, so he could reasonably join any of them.
Yeah.
I think Canis Limited is definitely the hardest one for him to join for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think on top of that too, like, could any of the other characters like possibly join like the other guilds?
So I was thinking about this too. Hops definitely could join Canis Libertas because, like, she has unfortunately adopted a lot of sneakiness from her mom, and it's
and
biting
a lot of
me in the
personality
ass.
traits.
All of it's biting me in the ass. I understand now.
Oh man.
But Morgan, I feel like, could also just go to which one is he in right now?
He's in Eva's Cogniocious.
Yeah, he could go to where Boondocks is, where it's very lawful and stuff, because Morgan's a good guy. He wants, like, what's best for the people, and he's a smart dude. So I feel like he could easily just be adopted into that one, too.
Yeah, I guess it's more like the charity work and, like, the being able to be, like, charismatic and, like, get people to like you is probably the biggest thing for Service Florist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boondock, I cannot see anywhere else, to be completely honest.
I mean,
Boondock is where he is.
I can make an argument for Canis Libertas, honestly, because I feel like, honestly, like, we actually even, like, talked about this, like, with the original concept for Boondock was, like, he wasn't a sheriff, he was more like a vigilante, and, like, he was, like, actually just going around this town and stuff like that, just cleaning up by any means necessary, compared to, like, a more lawful character that wants to, like, do things, like, the normal, like, honest way. You know, and like a lot of Boondock, like their personality, like it hasn't shifted. Like, it shifted a good bit from like they want to follow the laws and stuff like that. But like, it's very much a thing of like they want to do it like their forceful personalities and like their stubbornness will like absolutely see a job get done. Like, put their mind to something, they're going to see it done, like no matter no how. Yeah. You know.
Juliet might, maybe, not Service Florist. I'm blinking.
The Eva's Cogniocious.
Yeah. Maybe. I only say this because, like, she does have a high charisma, too.
Or Eva's Cogniocious is more of, like, wanting to learn and stuff like that.
Oh, other way around. I'm dumb. I'm sorry. Service
Flores.
Yeah. Because she's very charismatic, too. Like, she's, like, the head barmaid of the Jackal's Den, who is just full of rowdy drunks, which she can take care of herself, but she's also the source of entertainment for them, like, you know, starting, like, bar fights, and, like, breaking up bar fights, and, you know, starting a chant, like, drinking games, you know, getting the party started. So, like, I could easily argue that she could be there, too, but fuck Faith, you know, no.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, that sort of thing, and then just, like, heading into the, because Julia does definitely want to help as many people as she can. I feel like her self-esteem wasn't at a point where she felt like she could actually do that, but, like, now it's kind of, like, starting to turning down.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Character development.
Yeah. Also, like, if you remember, too, I definitely remember, like, because I know, like, Boondock's player was, like, I'm kind of leaning towards the chaotic one, and I think you said that you might play, like, a more lawful kind of, like, sweet cleric, which was fucking wild to see you two fucking, like, swap places there. Oh my gosh.
Oops.
Yeah. Could you imagine, though, just, like...
No.
This fucking sweet, innocent cleric Juliet?
God, that makes me sick.
Oh my
god. Ew. So, what's funny is, I wasn't gonna play a Kitsune. I was just like... Because I've never actually played a character before this campaign. Like... I think, like, I mean, officially, like, it never really got anywhere. I've always had to DM. So, I was like, oh, maybe he won't be open to, like, you know, a homebrew race. So I'll just, like, maybe do a half-orc or something like that. And you're like, oh, no, that's totally chill. I'm like, oh, sick, cool, I want to do that. But it would have been, like, a half-orc, like, lawful, neutral cleric lady.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Oh, man. Did you have any more, like, ideas for that concept? I'm actually violently curious now.
Yes, actually, she would have been, where, I gotta think, she would be, like, very, like, words, like an Eskimo, almost?
Ooh.
Like, very, like, from the more cold plains. I wanted to make her like a Yeti almost, like not Yeti, but like something around that line, like yeah. So I was just like, that'd be really cool, like very like almost like a druid, but she's more leaning toward cleric. So that's what I was gonna go for. I'm like, oh, this would be cool, like very like in tune with like nature and helping people and being kind, you know. And then man. I chose, no, violent left turn.
Yeah, no, you said, like, you gave me some other concepts for, like, oh, yeah, so maybe, like, a vengeful, like, kitsune thing and some, like, and then, like, I think one of your concepts was, like, a chaotic kitsune princess, and I'm like, yeah, that one actually could work into the lore. And yeah, I know you took chaotic and ran off running with it.
What's funny is I asked if I could be chaotic neutral, and you were like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, no. You said I said I don't know about that, and they went ahead and became chaotic neutral anyways. Yeah, well, at least it's one of those things where, like, you understand what chaotic neutral is now, so, like, I'm fine. I'm fine with you playing it because you understand what chaotic neutral, like, actually is.
Yeah, like, this was also before we actually got to know each other and stuff too. Like, you were just like trying to figure out the party dynamic and whatnot, and you didn't know me very well, so you're like, I don't know about chaotic neutral. How about chaotic good? And I was like, fuck, no, I'm gonna do it this way anyway.
Oh man.
Because I myself am chaotic neutral.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of PhoenixChat. A special shout out to our patrons, Modgoths, Nyquil Dreamer, and Spicy Turntable. You guys help us make more and better content. And in addition, we are going to have the previews for our Keepers of Order animatic. The line work is, we're getting through it, starting to really make some progress with it. And if you want to check out any like updates and stuff like that, feel free to subscribe to our Patreon, link in the description. Yeah, Izzy, you want to tell them about our Twitch?
Yeah, so if you go to Twitch and look up Keeper of Kitsune, we are streaming our Luna Nights campaign. Currently, we're kind of on a little bit of a hiatus, trying to figure out everyone's school schedules and whatnot, so we will eventually get back to a regularly programmed schedule in October, but for now, we're going to do some drawing streams, so you can just pop in there, say hi, ask some questions about, like, any of the characters, like, it could be Phoenix Art, it could be Luna Nights, anything you want. And yeah, it'll be a fun time. Now, fun fact of this. On Hollyday, there is a parade that runs through Phoenix Heart. The entire event is set up as like a charity event to give back to the orphans in the community. So Faith generally leads the showmanship, like the razzle-dazzle, all of this stuff, and as well as organizing the charitable donations and stuff. And Susan helps by setting up the mechanics of the floats and the lights. PhoenixChat, yeah!